Hey gang, it's JC and this is the Daily Dose for Wednesday, April 18th, 2012, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. We have great television archives up top. We have our eye candy feature right below, which we'll talk about in just a couple of seconds. And over in the corner, our rock and roll poll question, which yesterday was the new survey that said 65% of American workers almost always eat lunch at their desk. Do you? And 46% of you said, yeah, I got that right. Yep, I sure do. 46%. 30% said no. But another 24%, a quarter of the audience, said, I don't even have a desk. All right. While he was in town at the NRA convention last week, Ted Nugent said the president hates America, the president, the vice president, and the attorney general are criminals, his words, not mine, and that if the president is reelected, quote, I will either be dead or in jail by this time next year. And some interpreted that as Ted indicating that he might do something that would involve a crime against one of the high officials in our government that he would then be arrested for. Secret Service is all over it. What do you think of Ted's comments? A, I agree. Ted Nugent is a great American. B, Nugent was just playing to the NRA crowd, no biggie. Or C, Nugent's been off his rocker for years, no surprise. The Secret Service is onto it. Please answer down in the corner. Results for you tomorrow. Yeah, there's a whole lot more. There's like pages and pages of this stuff. That the most interesting situation now is Mitt Romney, who initially accepted the endorsement, if you will, and now is sort of backing away from Ted Nugent. It's a mess, and I'm not going to say anything right now to affect your decision as to how to answer on today's rock and roll poll question. I will tell you that about 20 years ago, I had Ted Nugent on the show. And I asked him one question, and the dude talked for 9 straight minutes. I couldn't get a word in edgewise, even though I tried. He just kept going. And it occurred to me, Ted Nugent, and I saw him in subsequent interviews, television, radio, whatever, heard the stuff. And it occurs to you, Ted's not really involved in a conversation. You put him on your show, and he filibusters. He doesn't have a conversation with you. So I just never had any compulsion ever to have him on the show ever again. And I don't think that's going to be changing anytime soon. Do you think you're the most fun person in your group of friends? Statistically, you probably have some competition. According to a new survey, 1 out of every 6 people says they're the most fun people in their group of friends. Also found that 19% of people say they can't remember the last time they had a good time, and 82% say there are days when they don't do anything fun. According to a new study, boy, we got lots of new studies here. The line between being unhappy and happy is a household income of 50 grand, pots and pans. People making more than that were more likely to say they're happy, more likely to be optimistic, more likely to have an active sex life, and more likely to feel younger. You gotta have 50 grand to do it. We're getting into that season now. For a lot of people, it started in March when the temperature was 90 degrees for about 3 weeks. New survey found that half of people claim they have a special grilling secret, whether it's a spice, a marinade, or both, and the average American grills at least 5 times a month during the summer. When Alabama won the college football national championship in January, they get the big Waterford Crystal Trophy worth about 30 grand. They get it, they don't always keep it. Yeah, on Saturday, the father of a player tripped over a rug, knocked it on the floor, smashed it to smithereens. They should have a replacement trophy in a few weeks. My question is, who picks up the 30 grand? Earlier this month, Brazil, a suspected truck driver, that's where it happened, came up with a brilliant idea to get out of prison. While his wife visited, he put on her clothes and a wig and some makeup and high heels. He managed to get all the way out of the prison like he was a visitor, made it all the way to a bus station before a cop noticed that he just didn't seem to know how to walk in high heels, started Xing some questions, and that dude's back in prison today. Some stories just a little too odd for even commentary. I know some of you think I make some of this stuff up. Kim Kardashian could someday be the mayor of Glendale, California. She believes she has a good chance because she's Armenian and there's a huge Armenian population in Glendale. She says, it's going to be 5 years though, because you have to have full residency, and I'll have to buy a house there. Maria Menounos, very close to a wardrobe malfunction last night on Dancing with the Stars. Her fringed top sort of shifted upwards a little bit, and a little more under boob ended up showing on national TV than she probably had in mind. That picture's on the internet if you're interested. I'd like to put it on mine, but the station will shut me down. Even in today's job market, single people would happily give up their fat salaries if it meant they had someone great to mash nasty parts with on a nightly basis. Another new surveys of 1,600 people by the website chemistry.com discovered that almost 3/4 of respondents said they'd be willing to give up a high-paying job for a relationship. Believe it or not, men more likely to answer that question that way than women by 75 to 70%. The survey also found that men are more willing to pool their money with a fiancé than women. 33% of men are willing to do a joint bank account after an engagement, but before marriage, only 14% of women say they would do that. They don't trust men, and probably for good reason. 21% of men would be willing to pool money after just 1 year of dating. Only 8% of women would be willing to do that. I find that very funny. A market research company called Scarborough surveyed adults on fast food lunches, and more than 3/4 of people ate fast food for lunch in the past month. But only 2% went to Dunkin' Donuts, making it the least popular spot. McDonald's, most popular. 43% of Americans say they've had lunch there in the past 30 days. Even Americans who call themselves health conscious eat at McDonald's. 36% of them had McDonald's for lunch in the past month. Interesting. The rest of the top 10 most popular are Subway, Wendy's, Burger King, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, Arby's, KFC, Panera Bread, and Pizza Hut. At the other end, Dunkin' Donuts, least popular, just below Papa John's, White Castle, Church's Chicken, and Long John Silver's. Union dispute at Hostess Brands means Twinkies and Ding Dongs soon could be unavailable. Luckily, the ones you have in your pantry right now are good until the year 3011. And from now on, NFL fans who get kicked out of stadiums will have to take an anger management course. We talked about that yesterday here. They got to take a psychological test before they can get back in, which means by the end of next season, the Oakland Raiders probably will be able to move into a 5-seat stadium. Colbert Report tonight is John Cusack. Could be interesting, letting you know about that. Conan O'Brien, 49 today. Haley Mills, Let's Get Together, yeah, yeah, yeah. Parent Trap, the original one, back in, 62 sounds about right. And in the remake with Lindsay Lohan and Dennis Quaid and all those people, there was one scene near the end of the movie where Lindsay Lohan is walking, she's like 11 at the time, is walking towards an elevator near the end of the movie and just sings that song to herself for a couple of bars. It's a little trivia fact right there. It was 106 years ago today, in 1906, the great San Francisco earthquake struck at 5:13 in the morning, 7.9 to 8.3 on the Richter scale, followed by raging fires that took weeks to fully contain. About 700 people died. Some 250,000 were left homeless. 33 years ago today, a wake-up call for everybody who was shacking up. In 1979, actor Lee Marvin was ordered to pay his girlfriend Michelle Triola $104,000 in the outcome of the first palimony lawsuit. Later on, Alice Cooper and Peter Frampton would have their you-know-what's caught in the ringer. All right, JC's Eye Candy today, these throwback uniforms. I don't know that it's really trying to do anything except sell more gear at the pro shop. When you go to a stadium, it's like, there's your favorite team. And it's like, oh, we have new logos and new uniforms and new colors. Oh, well, I have to get one of those. I think that's what those things are for. So the new Pittsburgh Steelers NFL team, the retro uniforms were unveiled yesterday. Isaac Redman looks semi-mortified in this picture, and who could blame him? Wait till you see this thing. This is supposed to be a throwback to 1934 when the team back then was also called the Pirates, and apparently had no conception whatsoever of your eyes burning if you looked at something unpleasant. It looks like these guys are going to be running around looking like giant bumblebees. Take a look at the picture. It's right below what you're looking at right now. That's JC's Eye Candy. We change that for you every day. All right, JC's Rock and Roll poll today. Ted Nugent at the NRA convention in St. Louis last weekend called the Obama administration and everybody having anything to do with it ugly names, real ugly names. In fact, the Secret Service says, not even so much ugly as dangerous, and we're going to keep our eye on him because Ted might be nuts. Please answer. What do you think of Ted Nugent's comments? They're over in the corner. We'll have results for you tomorrow. Trish Gazelle and JC, yours truly, on every day from noon until 3 on the Big 550 KTRS right here in St. Louis. That's it, the Daily Dose for Wednesday, April 18th, 2012. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.